Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be focusing on decision making. So you're going to see in the announcement area here on the proper day the link to the activity, but you can also find it over here in the content browser. This is Unit 1 and it's Activity 2, Decisions, Decisions, Decisions. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to this and then it's going to open up the activity. The first thing that you're going to do is reflect on the kind of decision maker you are. Now, remember, different situations, you probably react differently. So, for instance, with myself, when it comes to making decisions about politics or about environmental issues, I'm rather strategic and quite rational about it. In that, I like to collect a lot of evidence before I develop my opinion, and I'll change it based upon new evidence that comes up. Whereas, for instance, I might be more impulsive when it comes to financial decisions like going out and buying a Starbucks cup of tea when I know I could probably just make it at home. However, I would say my overall financial picture is more of a strategic one. When it comes to physical activity, I probably could be a lot better, and so I probably fall more into the procrastination side of things. So think about the different things that you make decisions on, and and then think about which strategy you tend to do. So then there's this activity. I'm just going to refresh the page here. And essentially, you've been given this situation. There's a room for rent, and there's an elderly couple that has a place for you to stay with kitchen privileges, great rent, but you have to do some occasional house chores. So you're going to go through these different characters. So in this case, Brian seems like a pretty careful guy. He's got a list of questions and he has determined the amount of time he would be willing to give up for chores. And he knew how much he could afford. So, which one of these best summarizes that? So, jot them down on a piece of paper. When you click on this and click submit, everything is incorrect. So, that sort of tripped me up, but you can find the answers by clicking on the long description afterwards. Don't just jump to the answers, though. Try and figure it out on your own before you check your answers. The next thing is taking a look at internal versus external factors. So they're going to go through and explain how external factors influence your decision making. Things like friends, family, the media, the government, and so on, versus internal factors, which are things that are based upon your personality. So, the activity here is, at what age should a person be allowed to make the following decisions? So, for instance, to get a driver's license. So, you're going to go through this laundry list of different activities and explain your reasoning. You're not going to be able to comment on peers because there's nobody else in the discussion, but you'll post your ideas in this discussion. And then you're going to move on to this decision making matrix. So, they've given you a scenario, a series of scenarios, and you're going to use this decision making template. So, um, where do I have that? It looks like this. So, you'll want to click on enable editing in order to be able to edit it. If you don't have Word at home, what you can do is just upload this to your Google Documents and or your Google Drive, and then convert it into a Google document. I can show you how to do this if you need help with that. So you've been given a scenario. So for instance, Ken here has been offered a job. It doesn't pay as well as his existing job, but it provides training and also some tuition towards college courses. The job, unfortunately, he'd have to move back with his parents for a while. If he takes the job, what should he do? So you're going to go through and identify what decision has to be made, and then provide three different scenarios. So, for instance, okay, you can take the new job that pays less. He could stay with the existing job, or perhaps he can continue looking for a completely new job and or go to school. Then you look at the pros and cons for each kind of decision, and so on. So fill out the rest of the chart, and that's what we're looking for that activity. So There's all sorts of scenarios here. Choose one that interests you and then click on submit your work. And that will be the next set of activities.